But you can see here the Normie strategy is you owe $3 trillion. You're not getting anywhere. The Maxi strategy pays off your debt. The Double Maxi strategy makes you rich. The Triple Maxi strategy makes you very rich. Why? Because you're buying the property that everybody is running to in 100 years, and you just go buy it now. But the question is, what's the United States Bitcoin strategy? And we could be normies. You could be a 10%er. That's kind of like buying 500,000 Bitcoin. You could buy 1 million Bitcoin. A Double Maxi is 2 million Bitcoin. A Triple Maxi is buy 4 million Bitcoin. And then start sweeping the surplus of the nation when it comes into Bitcoin. And the consequences? The first country to buy Bitcoin by issuing its own currency wins. This is simple. You print paper.
Michael Saylor begins by addressing the unique position of the United States. Despite the general rules of investing in Bitcoin, selling off paper assets, and moving away from gold, Saylor emphasizes the importance of not harassing Bitcoiners or driving the industry and capital overseas. He remains optimistic that the US will be led by competent executives who will harness AI and new technologies to drive economic growth. Saylor envisions a future where AI and robotics significantly boost productivity, with innovations like self-driving cars and AI-driven services. This technological advancement, he believes, will help the US grow revenues faster than expenses, eventually leading to lower interest rates. Please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. You can also check out our other videos on cryptocurrencies and the overall digital asset space and drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy the video.
And let's look at the US. US is a special case. Well, the rules are still the same, right? Buy Bitcoin, sell the paper, get rid of your gold, go long range. And the don'ts are still the same. Don't harass the Bitcoiners. Don't send the industry overseas. Don't send the capital overseas. But what's our base case here? Well, we think that AI and new technology is going to drive growth. I mean, I'm going to assume that the United States is going to be run by competent executives, and they're going to harness technology, and we're going to actually take advantage of AI, and we're going to create robot cars and robots and billion-person websites that give you free accounting and legal and medical advice, and all that's going to grow our revenues faster than grows our expenses, and we'll eventually get to the point where interest rates come down. But the question is, what's the United States Bitcoin strategy? And we could be normies. You could be a 10%er. That's kind of like buying 500,000 Bitcoin. You could buy 1 million Bitcoin. A Double Maxi is 2 million Bitcoin. A Triple Maxi is buy 4 million Bitcoin. And then start sweeping the surplus of the nation when it comes into Bitcoin. And the consequences? Well, if you're a normie, and you have great productivity growth and brilliant technology and the robots do all the work for us, you're still going to be in debt. It just won't get much worse. I mean, that'll save us. We need that. If you're a Maxi, you'll pay off half the debt. If you're a Double Maxi, you got a surplus. And if you're a Triple Maxi, instead of owing 30 trillion, the nation has 30 trillion. Right? Bitcoin is not the solution to all our problems. It is the solution to half our problems. And the important point is, the other half are very complicated. They'll take a lot of people and energy. This half is simple. This is a very simple thing to solve half our problems. So, Bitcoin is Cyber Manhattan. Hundreds of trillions of dollars of capital are going to go there. We're going to demonetize Russian tundra and Chinese real estate and everything in Africa and all of the crappy buildings. Everything anybody bought that they didn't need, it's getting demonetized. You buy a Bitcoin, you owe a building. Otherwise, a boulevard, otherwise the entire neighborhood. It's only 276 to the third. That's what you're looking at right now. And I'm going to leave you with one quote. Satoshi Nakamoto kicked off the Bitcoin network January 3rd, 2009. On January 17th of 2009, 14 days later, 16 months before Pizza Day, when Bitcoin was worth nothing, and it was not going to be worth anything for a year, Satoshi Nakamoto said it might make sense just to get some in case it catches on. If enough people think the same way, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And never have wiser words been spoken. You're staring at $1 trillion of proof, but there's still 1,000x to come, and you have a lot more information at your fingertips. The writing is on the wall. Bitcoin is the future of capital. It's the future of money. It might make sense to get some because it has caught on. Now, let's say you're an indebted country. You're actually in debt. You're running a deficit. I could name these countries, but I won't. I'm just going to say you owe a lot of money and you're struggling. Your interest rates are high and you don't know what to do. Well, here's your strategies. Are you a normie or a 10%er or a maxi, double maxi, or triple maxi? The maxi is you put a third of your treasury into this. A double maxi is 65%. And a triple maxi is put all your treasury into it and start issuing debt. For those of you who can actually read, right, the subtext of this is the first country to buy Bitcoin by issuing its own currency wins. This is simple. You print paper. Remember that Seward check? You issue the check. You'd be like, well, you could whine. Oh, we couldn't afford it. It was 2 years after the Civil War. The country was bankrupt. Millions of people are dead. The South is in disrepair. The North is angry. And this guy, Seward, comes up with an idea to buy frozen tundra, a lot of it, from a bunch of Russians that wanted the paper. Okay? So people have done things under worse situations. But you can see here the normie strategy is you owe $3 trillion. You're not getting anywhere. The maxi strategy pays off your debt. The double maxi strategy makes you rich. The triple maxi strategy makes you very rich. Why? Because you're buying the property that everybody is running to in 100 years, and you just go buy it now.
Saylor argues that to thrive in the 21st century, we must embrace new ideas and technologies. He contrasts the slow, expensive systems of the 20th century with the efficiency and speed offered by digital assets like Bitcoin. He illustrates this with a chart showing the global wealth distribution, highlighting Bitcoin's current small share compared to traditional assets. The global economy struggles with inefficient capital storage methods, which hampers economic growth. Saylor emphasizes the potential of Bitcoin to revolutionize capital preservation, providing a more efficient and secure way to store value. By reallocating a portion of global wealth into Bitcoin, individuals, corporations, institutions, and nations can achieve better financial stability and growth.
Standard Oil was nothing. There was no gasoline. There were no automobiles. We had no diesel locomotives in 1867. We invented all that stuff, but common sense says, oh, I can buy something that's equal to about 1/5 of the size of the nation for a few dollars. Why don't I just grab it? Bitcoin strategy for wealthy foreign countries. Let's say you have a lot of money. Maybe you're Saudi Arabia or Norway, and you make a lot of money. Well, what's your strategy? You want to be a normie, a maxi, a double maxi? A maxi puts 25% of their money into Bitcoin. A triple maxi goes 75% and converts their surpluses into Bitcoin. Here's what happens. You just get insanely rich. $58 trillion of rich. But more than that, this strengthens your national security because you end up with $50 trillion or more of digital capital nobody can take. You know, they can't steal it, right? They bomb your country, they invade your border. They're not getting the Bitcoin, right? So this is good for your financial security and your national security. But note, if you are Saudi Arabia or Norway, and if you pursue the Triple Maxi strategy, Saylor says it's very easy to do, but it's 4.2 million Bitcoin you end up with at the end of that line. That means there's not a lot of room for Triple Maxis, not at the nation state level, right? There's going to be one, there might be two. At some point, right, this is an opportunity for an aggressive mover. You can have a lot of Triple Maxi families and a lot of Triple Maxi corporations, not a lot of room for Triple Maxi nations. The world, as we know it, is based on 20th century ideas and 20th century technology. Stocks trade 9:30 to 4 unless there's a bank holiday. You can't do things on the weekend. Everything is slow. Everything is expensive. If we want to prosper in the 21st century, we need new ideas, and they need to be based on new technology. This chart you've seen before, I popped it up. It's $900 trillion of global wealth. It's that $900 trillion, it's spread across physical assets and financial assets that are 20th century ideas, 20th century technology. And in the upper left corner is a little orange blip, the little orange asset that could, what we call Bitcoin. It's 1 trillion. It seems like a lot if you started with zero, but when you look at it against the greater scheme of things in the world, it's 0.1%. Here's another way to see that same chart. It's not 900 trillion of assets. It's a bunch of assets held for their utility value and a bunch of assets held as a store of value, long-term capital. When I buy a house, I want to live in it. But when I buy a bunch of bonds, I just put my money there because I didn't know what else to do with the money. And when you start to see the world as a big chunk of long-term capital, $450 trillion or more of capital, and you start to think about the way we store that capital, you see the engine for the revolution. The global economy struggles because we're relying upon imperfect assets and imperfect systems to store that capital. It's crippling our capital preservation.
Michael Saylor presents a compelling case for Bitcoin as a transformative asset that can address significant economic challenges. Whether you're an individual investor, a corporation, an institution, or a nation, adopting a strategic approach to Bitcoin can lead to substantial financial benefits. If you found this video informative, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights into cryptocurrency and financial strategies. Please like and subscribe my channel.